and welcome to episode 20 of Forever Everton. We're in 6th. And you know what? Our form hasn't been too bad. It's not been super consistent, shall we say. But obviously the last game you saw was our 2-1 loss to Liverpool in the FA Cup 4th round. After that, we beat City 2-0. Manchester City. We beat them 2-0. Hlozek, of course, scoring both goals. He has been an absolute phenom since he's joined us, and as you can see, 11 starts, 2 sub-appearances, 10 goals. That's why we signed him. There was a player we talked about at Fedor Chalov, I think his name was, Chalov, who was going to hopefully sign for us. We didn't land him. In fact, we did basically no business whatsoever in the January transfer window, even though I jolly well tried. Let's have a quick look at the transfers. There we go, transfer history. So yeah, wasn't anybody I could bring in. We had some money in the bank, but finding the player that I wanted, well, it wasn't to be. There was a couple of players that were almost there. Not least of which was Oriol Busquets from Barcelona B. Tried to sign him on a free transfer. And couldn't get a work permit for him. And I considered, keeping him and sending him out on loan. But didn't seem a lot of point, really. His transfer is now been arranged to join OGC Nice at the end of the season. So, missed out on him too. So, nevertheless, it was a quiet time. But financially speaking, we've still got 35 million in the bank. I will trickle some of that into the wage budget because I pumped it back up to try and sign a couple of players, including Fedor Chalov. Who's he gone to, actually? There he is. Oh, he's gone to Lyon. From CSKA Moscow, but yeah, they wanted 42 million for him, plus, to be honest with you, he wanted a big old chunk of change that we weren't willing to spend either, and I don't know how he's performed for them so far. Well, he's managed 4 goals in 8, and 4 goals, 3 assists, and 2 player of the matches and 8 appearances. So he would have been good, but was not to be, unfortunately. So we are still relying on young Mister. Where are we? Yeah, young Mister Adam Hlozek, who, interestingly enough, has actually been called up for the Czech Republic. I'm not sure if it's an under-21 or a first team, but he's certainly, well, I think good enough to be in the first team for the Czech Republic. But like I say, he's been brilliant for us. I just hope we can hold on to him for long enough because, as you know, we lost Moise Keane. We are also losing Mason Holgate at the end of the season. The upside is, I've lost him now. Tosin Adarabayoyo has actually been standing in really quite well, as long as I don't play him as a ball-playing defender on cover. Ideally, he needs to be a no-nonsense centre-back on cover. And he does a decent job, as you can see. 7.03 average rating from 18 appearances. So, quite happy with the level of work that he's put in. But yeah, overall, we've done pretty well. It's one of those situations, it's kind of hard to pinpoint sort of, difficulties within the team. There are certain players you'd like to play better. I mean, Richardson's one of them. We're not keeping hold of him, I'm sure of it. Yet again, players wanted him. There you go, look, Real Madrid won him, Juventus won him, Borussia Dortmund won him. Dortmund came in a January transfer window and I shut the door on it. But, of course, that upset him. I've basically agreed that if somebody comes in with a transfer bid of 50 million, that he can go. I don't know if that actually becomes part of his contract. Good God. Look at all this stuff. Winning the Premier League, he gets 50 grand. That ain't happening this season, mate. But yeah, so I have a promise with him. In fact, it should show up on my promises. There we go. Richardson. Where are we? He holds me in the highest regard, but he still wants to leave. Well, I mean, you want to go to Real Madrid and whatnot. Very happy. Doesn't say anything about Happiness. I'm not seeing it there. Hopes will team make an offer to match the price you've been agreed to sell for. There it is. It's under negatives. 50 million. I mean, it's a chunk of change. It's fine. It's 10 million, I think, more than they paid for him. Although, since he's been playing, there's been trickling payments to Watford, whether it's been appearances and goals and so on and so forth. So, like I say, and the funny thing about Richarlison is, he's a good player, especially when he has a good game. But he doesn't tend to have two great games in a row very often. I mean, okay, we had a 6.9 and a 7.9 there, but it tends to be, I guess, a little bit hit and miss, even though you would consider him a fairly consistent then. That's fair enough. But yeah, he's injury prone apparently. He has had a few injuries, to be fair, this season. But so yeah, Richarlison might be on the way out, but I'm not overly concerned because, like I say, we do have a fair abundance in terms of wingers. Almada, not least of which, of course, our 70 million flop. He's not a flop. He's been doing great. But obviously I play him on the wing and not in his desired position because those tactics were not working out for us. But yeah, he's just shy of a 7.0 average rating from 28 starts, 7 subs, and he's managed 7 goals and 7 assists, which, like I say, it's not bad. So he'll be with us probably a couple of years until somebody else wants him. We have, of course, Anthony. He's not been doing too badly. 27 starts, 5 subs, 4 and 3 with a 6.83 average rate. And again, he don't mind playing outright, but he has been playing up front too. And he's also been playing in central midfield, which is not his favourite. So he gets moved around a little bit, but he's doing all right. It's not too bad. Outside of that, Sander Berg's another one I'm concerned about because, again, well, Atletico Madrid won him this time. Man United wanted him before. He's brilliant. He's kind of one of my key players, and obviously I signed him, I think, at the start of the second season. So, kind of want to hold on to him too. But yeah, so, like I say, overall we've been playing well. The interesting one, actually, is Andre Gomez. He's gone through a recent decent spell of form, although apparently it's dropped over the last 3 games. Look. That wasn't too bad, but like I say, he managed to come back in and hold on to his place for a bit. But again, he managed 4 goals in that time too, so he's got a bit more football, which has made him a little bit happier. But a couple of people have come in for him, and in fairness, I was willing to let him go, but he wanted to stay, so that's fair enough. So yeah, that's really where we're up to in terms of the schedule. Like I say, you've seen the results, I think. We beat City. We drew with Wolves after that. I talked about the City game, but I didn't carry on. Wolves we drew with, which again, when you come away from a 2-0 over City, you expect to do a little bit better over Wolves. But we did go 1-0 up with an Almada penalty. But obviously, Raul Jimenez came back and replied straight away, and that was how it stayed for the rest of the match. We managed to get a few yellows out of that, but nevertheless, where are we? At least it wasn't the 7-1 defeat against Manchester United, which I don't like to talk about. After that, we lost 2-0 to Norwich, which of course upset the board. Then we beat Fulham 3-2, and then we beat Tottenham 4-1. Again, Tottenham being a slightly better side. Admittedly, again, it's a good result at home. The Norwich game, I'm pretty sure, was away. No, that was at home. Oh, no. Again, it's moved back up here. Sorry. The Norwich loss was away from home. The Fulham win was away from home. At home to Tottenham, we win. And then we drew 1-1 with West Ham. Again, West Ham have been fairly solid, so I wasn't too disappointed in that. But then we beat Arsenal 3-0 at home. Then look, we went away to Stoke and lost 4-0. We can't win away from home. But 4-0 against sodding Stoke. I'm forever saying this. I always have a bad time against Stoke. I don't know what it is. I mean, you know, Simon had a trash game, unquestionably, but I don't know what to say. Quite upset is the way I'd put it. And then, of course, we bounced back, albeit with an away win, against Watford 3-1. So today's game, we are at home to Bournemouth. But as you can see, there are very few games left at this point. And as I said to you before, if we qualify for Europe, there's going to be a 4th season. If we don't qualify for Europe, I'm ending it there. So Every point counts at this point, and our run-in is Bournemouth, Cardiff, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Brighton, Chelsea and Leicester. Well, I mean, Leicester, Chelsea and Liverpool are probably the toughest ones in there, and given that Cardiff are already relegated, judging by the league here, yeah, and Villa looking a lot like they want to be relegated. Leicester actually are not doing quite as well as they had been, so we're still in with a chance of holding on to it, but as you can see, we've only got 2 points on Tottenham. And that's really who it's going to be between. I mean, Stoke, with their filthy 4-0 away win. Well, yeah, we were away. Are obviously doing a lot better than I give them credit for, and hanging around, sniffing around those spots. But it's nice to only be a couple of points behind Arsenal and only 3 points behind Chelsea. I mean, once you get up to where City, Liverpool and Manchester United are, yeah, we're not catching them. But we have a chance of the Euro Cup too. We have a very, 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 very slim chance, I would suggest, of European Championship football, depending on obviously how many points Chelsea drop. So it is everything to play for. Every match counts. Every point counts. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, it is time for Everton at home to Bournemouth. In goal, it's Unai Simon, a back four of Dean, Kimpembe, Adara Bayoyo and Holgate. Defensive midfield, Berg. Central midfield, Davis and Gomez. Left wing, Armada. Right wing, Anthony. And up front, it's Hlozek. So, we should be challenging the team to pick up where they left off. Yep, I expect nothing but a win. We'll go with that. Quality finishing. Control of the midfield. And solid defending. Well, Dean's motivated, as is Anthony. So hopefully, that's a good sign. I would have hoped for more motivation, bearing in mind we are favourites for this. And of course, we are at home. However, Everton in the blue with the white shorts and Bournemouth in their red and black kit. And whoops, I forgot to go full match. And we've already played 2 minutes. And it appears to be, I don't know whose end that's in. We'll find out, I guess. Oh, it's in the Everton end. Bournemouth are pressing us. That's not what you want to see when you come in. Dean clears it. Only as far as the Bournemouth player who puts it out for a goal kick. I'll take that. I'm going to go on cautious. Chances are we should be going pressing, of course. But Unai Simon with a goal kick to Adara Bayoyo. Kimpembe now coming forward. Still my favourite player. Dean puts it out wide to Almada. Is he going to get his cross in? Oh, he's tackled there. Well tackled by Smith. Perfectly timed. That's a throw in for Everton. Dean to take it. Berg crosses. Cleared, but Gomez picks up the loose ball. Like I say, Gomez has been picking his game up. Holgate now. Into the middle, Armada. Got close to that one, ish. Well, he got on the end of it. That's a start. Pickford, we remember you. Puts it out. Bournemouth now coming up on the right wing. Low cross. Kimpembe clears it. Almada finds Berg. Berg trying to start a counter-attack with Hlozek. You know what? I'm going to go under the press. Ball forward for Frazier. Holgate dispossesses him quite nicely. Berg now. Adara Bayoyo back to Unai Simon. Kimpembe. He's tremendous. Oh, that was a bit iffy. That's what I get for complimenting you when you're looking. Dean to Davis. Berg. With a tripe ball out there. What are you doing, Berg? What are you playing? Oh, you're on support. That's not the issue. Throw in for Bournemouth. Oh, there are no changes, don't worry. Come on, Everton. Let's show some passion, would you? Fraser. Oh, fouled by Holgate. How did it go, press? Why is that on cautious then? Should be on positive. Okay. Bournemouth with a long ball back. Possibly a clearance by Everton. I am unsure which. Smith on the ball. Dean tackles him, but it's a throw in. Davies almost takes the shirt off Smith's back. Oh, it's not a throw-in, it's a free kick. Fraser. Right into the hands of Unai Simon. We're not looking great, are we? Kimpembe. Almada. Tackled by Smith. He's struggling to get past Smith a little bit. Throw in now, Dean to take it. Hlozek now. Forces a corner. Probably going to key highlights soon. It's a bit end to end. Almada with the corner. Oh, nearly finds Berg. Holgate with a loose ball. Adarabayo, Holgate. Anthony. Gomez now making a run. Tries to get a cross in. Deflected off the player. Berg. Puts it out for Almada to chase. And, well, not the best first touch, but I would say that wasn't the best ball for her. And Kimpembe. Dean. Davies. Gomez. Come on, Gomez. Davies again. Gomez. And we've forced a corner. What are we? More direct passing, huh? Alright. I'm going to go on to key highlights. I'm not entirely happy with what I'm seeing, but we are at least making inroads and fouling them silly, apparently. Let's get creative. Come on, Everton. We're better than this. I don't know why we can beat City 2-0 and struggle against Bournemouth. Makes no sense to me. Valverde for Bournemouth. Dean dispossesses him. Oh. It's going to be a penalty? No, just a free kick. That's a close one. Don't be naughty, Dean. Fraser. And it is over. I could go back to the control, couldn't I? Apparently not. What's going on? Why can I not change that? Something's not right here. Let's pause the game. And let me change to that. Change to the press. There we go. We'll stick it on positive. I feel like there's a bug in here somewhere. There's a bug in my match. Okay. Let's try getting creative. Oh, it's half time. It's been pretty lackluster, hasn't it? Yeah, you have been pretty disappointing. And I'm far from pleased with what I've just seen. Apparently you're all fired up, so I will let you play on for 10 minutes or so and see if anybody picks up their game. But it's not looking great, is it, boys? We're at home, don't forget. We're supposed to make it tough for people who come here. Let's demand more then, maybe. Oh, throw in for Dean. Finds Berg. Davies on the ball. One or two players have maybe picked up their game, but not many. Anthony. Holgate. Gets the cross in. Dean. Another cross in. Holgate. First goal of the season. Well done, Mason Holgate, I guess. At least he's playing alright. That's picked his game up, look. Yeah, lovely cross. Almada has a go. He's not very tall. Dean crosses it back and Holgate says, yeah, I'll have that. And puts it past poor old Pickford, former Everton goalkeeper. Okay, I'm just going to pause things for a minute. I just want to go and have a look because look at that. Spot on 60 minutes. Poor old Anthony. Poor old Anthony. You're just not having a good day, are you? Let's bring on Richarlison. And Tom Davis. Let's bring on Thomas Partey, because there ain't no party like a Thomas Partey. Gotta say, he's not been able to manage any decent form this season. He's struggled to get into the side, and it's a shame. He was so good to start with, or at least he appeared to be so. Yeah, as you can see. He was decent on loan. Not quite as decent over the entire season, and so far he's just not cutting the mustard, I would suggest. Why is that greyed out? I don't know. Anyway. And Hlozek. Mate. Well, we could always bring on Fraser Hornby, but I kind of don't want to at this point. I'm about to get a visitor. Hello, mister. I know, it's dinner time, isn't it? Well, look, let's finish the match and I'll get you some dinner, alright? Confirm subs, and we are off. We do have one sub left that we can make. We are only 1-0 up. And Bournemouth are coming forward now. Holgate with the clearance. Anthony puts the ball forward. Hlozek goes around Pickford, and Pickford gets a hand to it. It's a great save. Stop rubbing your face against the computer. It'll make the camera bounce. Smith with a free kick for Bournemouth. Fraser on the edge of the box. Tries to kill one, but it is wide. Well, Hlozek not picked up his game yet. Adara Boyoyo with a long ball forward. Hlozek on it. And he's gotten past his man. Richardson's picked up the loose ball. Richardson, oh, just wide. Off the side netting. Just off the side netting. Well, let's try getting creative again. You know what? Will you stop butting the computer? Go on. Get stuffed. And the lights. Just go. I'll feed you in a minute. We're almost there. Taking off Hlozek, and I'm going to bring on Fraser Hornby, who wants to be a target man. And target men haven't done too badly up front, but poor old Hornby, he's not really up to standard. You know what I mean? He's not managed anything of any note so far, and that's fair enough. He's only a young player, product of the youth team. He's not playing at Premiership level. But, ooh, Partey's doing all right. That's good to see. Let's see if he can't do something for us now. I'm going to demand more. Because like I say, Bournemouth seem to have slightly the better possession here, which is not ideal. Dean with a free kick for Everton. He's been booked. Berg. Partey. Berg. Richarlison. Remember what I was saying about Richarlison? Apparently it's all lies. Apparently he's amazing. Well, 2-0 to Everton. Partey with a lovely ball. To Berg. Berg with the ball over. That finds Richarlison. Like it might have been close to being offside. Obviously this is not a great angle for checking that out. But they're not making us see a replay to prove that it was on front, so onside, so demand more one last time. Oh, don't be pressured. And that's your lot. End of the match. Everton 2, Bournemouth 0. 3 points we wanted. Like I say, they all count now. Well done, lads. I will take that. And yeah, poor old Pickford suffers defeat against former club. Oh look, Northampton got 150 grand for Fraser Hornby. Because he's played 10 games. Oh yes, even though he didn't do well. Berg, man of the match. You were brilliant. Now, I wonder if we can have a look at the results. Well, I don't think those were the only games today, but maybe, oh, that was the Sunday games. Saturday games, United won, of course. Brighton won, Villa didn't. Chelsea won, that's a shame. Arsenal lost to Leicester. That's all right, and City drew with West Brom. Let's have a look. Oops, at the competition, at the Prem. And see what that means. Oh, we're up to 5th. On 56 points, we've passed Arsenal, who've got a stunning goal difference of plus 26 goals, but lost to us. Ha 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 ha. That's not a bad place to be. Like I say, we've still got a few games left, but to be in 5th ain't bad. We're only 3 points still behind Chelsea. Like I say, they did win. Stoke and Fulham still need to play, but Stoke are a little bit off the pace, as are Fulham, who are way off the pace. So it's looking like a season 4. Still games to go, but it is looking like a season 4 if we can maintain decent form. That does count as 2 wins in a row and 3 wins out of 4 games, but that Stoke game standing out like a really big zit on my forehead. Yeah, not ideal. But up next is Cardiff. That should be a win. And then we got Villa, which should be a win. And then Liverpool, of course, will be a test. I think, realistically, I might come back for the Chelsea game, depending on where we are. If something interesting happens in the meantime, I'll be back sooner. But Chelsea seems like the best choice game to come back for, given that we're only 3 points behind them, assuming that we only stay 3 points behind them. If they pull away for some reason, I'll probably come back for the Leicester game. But if you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.